came off great. The one thing that I noticed though is you sort of retracted your GSP steroid allegation on Conan.
Well, I didn't really retract it. I just said I didn't want to go there publicly. See, I didn't want to put out the story that, GSP being on steroids. I didn't want that to be the narrative. And I don't want it to be the narrative of this fight. The narrative of this fight is that George St. Pierre is coming out of retirement, one of the greatest fighters the UFC's ever seen, and he's trying to take my belt. That's the story. And listen, everybody knows I'm against steroids, and I've talked about that a long time. I don't want to, sound like a broken record and bore everyone to death. So that wasn't what I wanted to go on there. I wanted to go on there and speak positively about the fight, how it was a great matchup and this type of thing. You know what I mean, Lewis? I didn't just want to start throwing steroid accusations around. So anyway, so that's why when we had the press conference on Friday, the first question went to George, what's different since you came back? And he started asking, and I very politely waited for him to finish. I mean, far be it for me to speak over somebody. And I waited, and then I said, the difference is, George, is that now there's USADA and you can't take your steroids. And then it kind of started from there.
Right. Yeah, he's one of those guys who, looking at him, he's so athletic, so muscular. I think the question has always been there, and I think there was always like rumors here and there. Nick Diaz was the one who was like very vocal about it, he I guess he had accused George. I might be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty sure he did. Was Nick the one who, or was it Nate the one where they asked him about steroids and he was like, they're all on steroids? And
I think it was Nate Diaz. And you know what, to be honest, I think he's probably right. I think a high percentage of people are on steroids. I mean, we spoke about it last week. I'm just finding out there's all these kinds that are so fast acting these days. It's crazy. But as I say, I don't want that to be the narrative, and I don't want that to be the whole take on this podcast episode. What I would like to say is that you see George St. Pierre had on the exact same suit as the press conference at the start of the year to this press conference. Did you notice that?
Yeah, you had said something about that in the press conference, which here's what's beautiful. I mean, you really do. That press conference would have been fucking boring. Not to suck your dick, which everyone will accuse me of doing on the show, but the press conference would have been pretty boring had you not been there to kind of spice things up. Everyone was being kind of very respectful, and it seemed like you got under George's skin pretty quickly.
Oh. Massively. He
was getting upset.
Even Dana White said afterwards, he said, you are getting to him so much. He said, I have never seen George look so pissed off or even get physical, because at the end when we squared up, he actually gave me a little punch in the stomach, the little bitch. And he did, and I felt it as well. He winded me a little bit, so he gave me a little punch in the stomach. He's obviously been working on where to target his body shots with Freddie Cockroach. So,
Freddie Cockroach.
Yeah, he had the same suit, and I said, yeah, you look like a history teacher, George. Come on, man, you've got some money, buy a new suit. What the hell's going on? But yeah, you're right. It was kind of boring, and I wanted to bring the heat. I wanted to be entertained. I mean, to be honest, that wasn't me being false. That was me being me and having fun. It was funny. This morning, I went and did some jiu-jitsu down at 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu in Costa Mesa. Thank you very much for the guys down there. I had a terrific role, and the guys put me under a lot of pressure, so thank you. But somebody said there, some weird jiu-jitsu martial artist type. He's like, really enjoyed the press conference. Not sure about if you have the right to speak to George St. Pierre like that. And I'm like, dude, he's going to try and kick my head off my shoulders. He's going to try and choke me out unconscious in front of the world. I think I have the right to say to him whatever I like, okay? I said, listen, what you got to understand is that when you're doing this, when I'm there at that press conference, yeah, I'm having a laugh. George was saying, oh, this guy, he's an angry guy. He's an angry guy. I'm like, George, what do you mean? I'm not angry. I'm having the time of my life. I was laughing my head off the whole time. But the thing is as well, whilst I'm enjoying myself, there is also a strategy to it. You're trying to get your opponent to doubt themselves. At the end of the day, we're going to fight, and the most powerful tool is the mind. And if he doubts himself a little bit, what I say can instill a little bit of doubt in there, he won't perform quite as good as he could do. So I'm doing it for a reason, because we are going to fight, and someone can get hurt. Somebody can get knocked out. Jesus Christ, God forbid it, but somebody could even die. So this is a serious game we play. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I talk a bit of shit at the press conference. Because, yeah, I am a loudmouthed arsehole, and I enjoy to do it. But there is a reason for it as well. And then afterwards, of course, there's a lot of comments online. Bisping is such a dick. Everybody saying I'm trying to copy McGregor, and it's like, Jesus Christ, I've been this way since I was 5 years old. You know what I mean? So I'm certainly not trying to copy McGregor, but I guess he's the popular one right now. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
How much strategy was there in saying to him, this was an interesting thing, because I host the roast battle at the Stand in New York City, which is like comedians roast battle each other, and it was kind of an interesting thing watching you kind of like, it was almost like you were roasting him, and you kind of pulled this move where you were like, hey man, I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go jab, jab, shoot for the double every fucking time. I don't gotta watch tape on you because that's what you do. Now, is there a part of you that it wanted to almost put that in his head to make him? It's almost like a direct.
Yeah. So it's like a double bluff, isn't it? You say you're gonna do this, and you keep talking about it. So then, therefore, he doesn't want to do it because he doesn't want to prove me right, and he doesn't want to be boring.
Is that deliberate, or are you like literally? Are you thinking about it that much, or does it kind of come out and then afterwards you go, oh well, that worked?
Yeah, I don't know if I am. You know, I mean, yes and no. I mean, I don't care. No, I'm not. I'm trying to be smart there and trying to take credit for it. I'm not consciously thinking it. I guess that is kind of an effect of what might happen. But really, all I'm doing is trying to piss him off and just say, listen, and I believe that. That's what I truly believe. I know how George fights, and he's going to come out there, and he has excellent kicks, and he's working on his karate, and he's working on his jiu-jitsu. He's going to look to take me down to the floor. In fact, everything he's saying is alluding to him taking me down. Even afterwards, he was talking about how he's an exciting fighter on the ground. He did an interview with someone, I can't remember, and he's talking about how he's an exciting fighter on the ground, how he's never been stood up by a referee once. He's always working. He's always looking for the submission. So once again, that just plays into it. He's going to come out and he's going to look to take me down. So yeah, I'm just throwing it out there saying, George, I know what your plan is. I know exactly what you're going to do. And that's why I said I hope Freddie Roach is working your hands and gives you more confidence to use them, because if you do, that's great for me, you know?
It's a very it's pretty great, like as a fan, like outside perspective. Anybody who's fucking hating on this fight is retarded, okay? Because it's such an interesting fight, but it's both guys, it's like you both are not even hiding really from what you're gonna do in this fight. So it's not like there's a trick and somebody's gonna like pull some shady shit and like just catch somebody and get lucky. We know what you want to do. We know what he's gonna come out and do, and it's gonna be who's gonna be able to do that better. So I'm fucking super pumped about that. Did you, I tweeted this from the Believe You Me Twitter account. It was really interesting. Somebody put together a side-by-side comparison of both of you guys training.
Okay.
And
I didn't see that one.
Oh, you gotta let me
do you know what? I think I did a while ago though, but I just didn't see it from when you tweeted it.
Yeah, really, really interesting, dude. I'll tell you right now, it's I put out a Twitter poll, and of course it's our Twitter, so everyone, I said, who do you think looks better? And it was like 90% you. But you know, I'm shady. What is it?
Yeah. But if I remember rightly, there's a lot of old footage there as well.
Yeah. There is.
You know what I mean? So it's a little misleading. You know, it's old footage and new footage and 10 years old footage. Whoever did it has just, you know, gone through like YouTube videos or whatever and just pulled bits and bats and put it together, which, you know, I admire. Good for them. But yeah, listen, you know, he's training hard. So am I. You know, may the best man win. You know, listen, I'm talking all this shit here, and I'll say it again. I respect George. I respect his camp. I saw Freddie Roach backstage, and as we were walking by, I said, "Hey, Freddie, how you doing?" I said, "Listen, nothing but respect. You're an amazing coach." I said, "You know how it is. We're talking shit," and he just laughed and we shook hands, and he said, "Yeah, of course, I get it." You know, so there's no ill will. George is a hell of a guy, great fighter. I'm gonna try and smash his face, and yeah, of course I am. I'm gonna try and beat him to the punch and do all this, 100%. You know, if he beats me, I'll raise his hand, I'll say congratulations, and I'll never badmouth him again. But at the moment, he's the enemy. Simple as that.
Yeah, I do enjoy your trash talk on Freddie Roach as well. You said something like he can't spell MMA.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? It was weird because I said that, and I was like, you know, I said, oh, Freddie Roach. I said, he, you know, great boxing coach, but I bet he couldn't even spell MMA, let alone UFC. And then I thought, hold on a minute, because you know what people are like. Are they going to try and twist that and try and make it out that it was a dig at his Parkinson's disease? Because it wasn't. Or that was me just strictly alluding to the fact that he is a boxing coach and not an MMA coach. Like my main trainer, Jason Perillo, he's a boxing coach, but he's a boxing coach that's been around MMA fighters for God knows how long and coached some of the best fighters in the world for many, many years, going back to BJ Penn, Tito Ortiz. I mean, the list goes on. So it's boxing catered for MMA, whereas Freddie doesn't do that. So that was my point there. But you know what some people can be like.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, Parkinson's doesn't even affect the way that it doesn't affect the way you think. I think it's just physical, right? If you would have said,
no, it is exactly.
If you would have said Freddie Roach can't spell or can't write the word MMA, then it would have been like, all right, come on,
if he can't say UFC,
Freddie Roach can't hold a pen in his hand straight enough to write out the letters UFC.
UFC. I'm like, no, it's only one U.
See, well, now you're making
the guy's
fun.
getting it wrong already. I'm joking. Parkinson's is not something to joke about, but
well, look, I'll tell you right now.
Larry David can do it on Curb Your Enthusiasm, then it's fair game, I guess.
Freddie Roach, I'll tell you right now, he's got the quickest jab in the game. He just keeps on going with that one hand.
I don't get it.
Come on, Parkinson's. It makes you fucking shake.
Oh my God!
Come on,
see, that's terrible, Lewis.
Whatever.
I expect better from you because you set the bar quite high with your humor. That's terrible.
I do. Yeah.
So that was George sounding like a fucking. He didn't talk about the stock market this time, which was refreshing. Look, he said the same stuff.
He came off good too, and I'll tell you the only reason why he came off good was because he was fired up. He was angry. If it would have been another fucking Carlos Condit versus George St. Pierre press conference where they're both sitting straight up, like the best posture in the world. George St. Pierre must have a fuking posture coach. It's crazy. His posture is retardedly good. I've never seen somebody more straight in my entire life. And you're kind of slouched and hanging in. You got your sunglasses on. You're fucking doing your thing. But every time GSP is in a press conference, it is so boring. And it was like you got him kind of worked up and angry.
Listen, here's the thing. Honestly, after every press conference, I kind of think, shit, was I a dick? And the answer is probably yes. You know what I mean? But as you said, you've got to make it entertaining. You know what I mean? And if it's down to me, if I'm the idiot, then so be it, but it's got to be entertaining and people like it. You know what I mean? So I talk a bit of shit. I mean, George, you're right. Everything about his body's perfect, so he's there, he's stretching. He probably has got a posture coach. He's got his mind coach. He's got his boxing coach with him. He's got his masseuse. He's got everything with him you could imagine. But none of that helps you at the end of the day when we're fighting. So, but yeah. I did piss him off, though, because when we squared up, we went to the middle. And I said, oh, look at this, George. And I grabbed his suit. In a very condescending fashion. And I'm like, oh, you got the same suit on, George. What the hell, man? And then Dana was like, whoa, don't touch. And I said, whoa, look at you, looking big, George. Been lifting weights, buddy. And then I squeezed his bicep. And that's when he punched me in the stomach. But I was just like totally big brother in him.
How did he feel, though? How'd that bicep feel?
Totally condescending him. And I was having a great time. Then he punches me in the stomach. And I'm like, whoa, come on. You say I'm the angry guy. Come on, George, what's up with you? But he was seething, man. He